Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. Now we see where Malie has dropped another song. He's going and going and going and I give him credit. We have to give the guy credit, you understand, for his bravery, for stepping up to chronicler, a giant and one of the pillars of lyrics in dancehall. So we do give Malie credit in every aspect of going in it. Now I see where many persons are saying that you guys ask for a clash and now you get a clash, you're complaining, you want them to stop. Persons who are stakeholders are suggesting that the artists stop because of name dropping and because of so many things that they're saying in it that are implicating persons. So they should desist from the clash. Many persons are comparing clash of previous years, the Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, the Merciless clash, and Vybz Kartel versus Bounty Killer, Vybz Kartel and Mavado, Alkaline and Squash. So many persons have clashed over the years and many persons have not said that they were supposed to stop. Even when in Alkaline and Squash beef, when they were clashing, VD, who is the manager, had suggested that they desist. They're going to refrain. They're not going to respond because he said that too much of one thing is good for nothing. And Alkaline said, it's some other and whatever is going to go ahead and stuff like that. But here's the thing. I personally, as a vlogger, did not say or suggest or insinuate that they should desist. On the contrary, I actually suggest that they continue because I'm a fan of Clash and I also spoke about Clash is something that showcase talent, raw and pure talent. When you are battling as an artist, whether it be a rapper or a dancehall artist, it shows talent because yes, you can have someone assist you in writing or with the melody, but at the end of the day, it's your bars that actually count. It's your scribe, you writing your own lyrics that actually count and how you deliver on it, because you can say much and still lose a clash. You can say very little and still win. So the delivery is extremely important and how you put your words together when clashing. These are things that I personally listen for when persons are clashing. Now, in this particular scenario, like I said in the last two videos, the name dropping and stuff like that, it can implicate persons and stuff. And I am suggesting that they refrain from doing so. I never said that they should not clash or they should desist. I am only saying that they should refrain from name dropping people, because a lot of persons who are out there didn't have anything to do with the clash. And if you look at yesteryear, as I said, the things that you could do and get away with it, you simply can't do so now. So I don't want people to pretend or act as if what I'm saying doesn't hold deep rooted merits. The things that you could say in yesteryears in a clash and it just left and stay there as music and you move on, who win, win, who lose, lose, and it's another day. That's not how the game works right now. Law enforcement are involved. There are other things that you have to take into consideration that you can be held liable. You understand? I spoke of the great United States and what they are doing to a lot of rappers because they do in fact commit crime. And they record it in their songs and then they are tried and convicted and be sentenced, you understand? So let's say all things are equal and they actually did not do it. The dancehall artists, that is, did not do anything and they're just saying some things. At the end of the day, you can still be implicated in something. You have enemies out there. So it's not just law enforcement. And if we take a look at the past, with the Bounty Killer versus Merciless, Beanie Man involved, also Ninja Man, Shabba Ranking, all those artists of yesteryears who were clashing, the Lieutenant Stitchy versus Papa San, and all of these type of artists, even the very Vybz Kartel and Bounty Killer, Vybz Kartel and Mavado, they spoke of things, yes, but did they name drop people? Vybz Kartel is a prime example. He was one that came out in our generation, right? And he clashed Bounty Killer and also Mavado. A lot of names, a lot of things were said, I'm sorry, but you didn't find Vybz Kartel coming out and saying that you took this out and you did this to that person and stuff like that. Neither did Mavado. I listened to The Clash before Vybz Kartel was incarcerated, and I listened to Mavado and Vybz Kartel again while Vybz Kartel was incarcerated. And I didn't hear where Mavado was saying that this person head over Portmore, that person head uptown Kingston or wherever. It's you pay this person to do it and you pay that person. And on the Friday night at 12 o'clock when this took place, you were the one who was there and you saw it and you did it. I mean, come on. This is what I'm talking about. And let's say they did it. Do remember that Vybz Kartel was convicted and given a life sentence, eligible for parole after 35 years. And he served 13 years and was then released. So if such is even the case, and let's say all things are equal, a lot of name dropping took place back then, do you seriously think that what's taking place in the society right now when it comes to crime, when it comes to law enforcement, when it comes to the laws of the land, do you really think that a lot of things are going to happen that looks rather questionable, and then you're going to have a clash and say things in reference to events that actually took place, many of which are still an open case, and you are implicating saying that this person did this back then, in that time he paid for this, he's hiring this, he's importing gun, he's paying for protection, these people paying to live rent-free and all sorts of things. Do you think law enforcement is really going to look past that in 2025? I was listening to CV, and CV was saying that if they're snitching on themselves, let them clash, let them. They are criminals, and so you should not be protecting criminals. So if they are in fact criminals, you should let them snitch on themselves. Let them lock their ass up. You understand, in the end. And if they are not, then what's the issue? It shouldn't be an issue if they are not. It should be just clash. But I believe strongly, I'm not a hypocrite and I'm not going to skip fences or dance around. I believe that a lot of things are in real life played out. The 6 camp and what it was all about. A lot of persons were unalive. A lot of persons have lost their life because of a brawl that took place with the 6 G City, all these type of things. I am from Montego Bay, and so I am around, not necessarily in the vicinity of those people and what took place, but I'm in Montego Bay. You understand? A city of some 90,000. So at some point, you're going to be close to something. You understand? And we saw what took place. The lives of many persons were taken. And so trying to fight tooth and nail, saying that it's not a gang, it's your group because it was 6 brothers and then so many things are happening, then you see this type of clash and it's suggesting something, then people are actually going to be looking at you guys sideways and say, what's up? You understand? It actually is a gang. And remember that there are persons who were unalive offshore also, not in Jamaica. You understand? In more than one country. So this is something very serious. So that's why I said people should refrain from name dropping. If you can write and you're a writer, you don't need to be dry snitching. That's the thing, you know. If you're writing and you're dropping a diss track, you don't need to be running to win, you know. That's the thing. When you're running to win, you're going to do anything. You're going to sell yourself. You are going to snitch on even your own self because you want to win by any means, basically. So all bets are off, even for your own damn self. And that can be very detrimental to you as an artist, to your career and all of that. A lot of persons will not be interested in working with you. You understand me? Bookings can reduce. So there are a lot of things that come into play. So if you are about clashing and you really take your career serious, clearly you can go about saying a lot of things without the dry snitching. We saw Bounty Killer been doing this thing for decades. And you know me, Bounty Killer is in the wrong, then I call out Bounty Killer. But when he was clashing, even recently with him and Vegas, you didn't hear Vegas dry snitching. You did not hear Bounty Killer dry snitching or name dropping people and implicating them in this and that. You did not see that. You understand? And yes, we know that Bounty Killer had the mindset or the gatekeeping that took place in yesteryears in the 90s and stuff like that. We are actually talking about a clash. And we're talking about something that took place recently with him and Vegas. There wasn't any form of snitching or people implicating people in all sorts of crime, the unaliving of people, dismembering of people, people missing, all these type of things. And so what I am saying is a caution. And yes, we want the clash. Of course we want it. I like the spirit of clashing, like I said, because it tests talent. And I'm not concerned about winning and who win and all of that. We are concerned about persons who are deemed underdog. And most times people like to support underdog, but most times people have their persons, that their support, or the arch rival who has a bigger name usually have a heavier fan base. And so he will automatically get the support from the mass of the people. But people are always curious to hear what the underdog has to say. You understand? And so with the clash, we want it. You understand? We want the clash because it sounds good. Like I said, the punchlines are good. But here's the thing. These guys are trap, or what you would call trap dancehall artists. And so no matter the angle that they come from, they will end up sounding monotonous because trap music has a mix with an R&B type of flow to it. And if you know R&B, it comes with melody and instrumentals, not heavy beat and sound like dancehall or like yesteryear hip hop. You understand? It comes with a lot of melody. So if it comes with a lot of melody, you, the artist on it, recording like over 100 songs on a trap beat, more than likely you're going to sound the same after a while. It's going to sound a bit monotonous. So both of them I would give it to, saying that they sound monotonous. Their delivery is great. And what they're saying, the lyrics is good. And the delivery is good. But at the end of the day, that's how much drive you can get from a trap music. You understand me? Or a trap dancehall. It will end up sounding very, very similar. One song after the other. There will be very much similarities in it. And so I'm not going to take it from them because it does a subtract from their actual talent. It does a subtract from their bravery. It does a subtract from them being bold and going at each other. And so I like it. And like I said, I respect them. I respect Malie and I respect Chronic Law to the T because the public had wanted a clash and they were hoping that Alkaline and Massacre or Alkaline and Vybz Kartel would be doing it. Vybz Kartel seemed to want to sail off into the sunset, have a good time, or throw a sub in his video clips on TikTok, and that's about it. Alkaline is waiting on his name to be called directly before he decides to take the first jab or punch. And Massacre is not going to clash anybody. He's not going to. And that's about it. You understand? And so we were left with Malie. But Malie and I gave him props. I gave him a lot of props because he came out in full force. And it seems like, you know, Chronic Law at the end, he was just dissing him. But then Chronic Law realized that Malie seemed to not be backing down. And so he just decided that, listen, I'm going to come for your head, being as that's what you want. And people have to remember that it's not about Malie doing better or sounding better. We're talking about Chronic Law, who is a diss track artist, a punchline artist, very good with the lyrics. So his arch rival have to come real good. I remember Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, when they were coming on it. Machine Gun Kelly had him for a good minute. Eminem got it in kill shot. Machine Gun Kelly retaliated with miss shot and stuff like that. Machine Gun Kelly didn't have a choice than to go extremely hard because you're going up against who? The number one rapper, the super lyricist. That's Eminem. He has a comedic side to him and he has a very serious side to him to battle you. And then he has that paranoia type of depressing side to him also, and he flows well on all of those personality. And so if you're going to come at Eminem, you have to come real good. You can't be an idiot. You can't be like that. Nicki Minaj is the same thing. If you're going to go up against Nicki Minaj to actually diss Nicki on a track, you have to come real good because Nicki Minaj is going to kill you with metaphors. You understand? And she has a time wherein she goes cool and smooth. And then she has a time when she's on some heavy hip hop beat and she's punching with a voice as tiny as hers. I will use the word tiny or squeaky as hers at time. She can go on a heavy beat. Woke up the price of coke up. I just sit them with the low cut and call my folks up. That's Nicki Minaj. You understand? And so she is like that. So if you're going to come at her, you have to come extremely good. You understand? Lil Kim back in yesteryear's, same thing. And it's the same thing in dancehall. If you're going to go up against a bounty killer, even if you're a lyricist, you have to be great in your delivery because bounty killer have the voice for it. Mavado is the same thing. They have the voice for it. So you have to be creative and you have to be very lyrical and can deliver because their voice alone sells them. The Shabba Rankin, the Bounty Killer, the Mavado, the Late Merciless, their voice alone sells what they are doing. You understand? So if they even don't say much, their punches and the delivery is going to be enough to take you out in a clash. So if you're coming, you have to come good. Vegas had him for a moment. Vegas had Bounty Killer for a moment. I'm not sure why Bounty Killer stopped the clash, but Vegas was doing really well. And so, like I said, people are always curious to hear what the underdog has to say. And so if they're underdog, you are expected to come real good, because these are persons who are experienced. These are persons who live for clash. And so I give it to Malie. You understand me? I believe based on, I would say, I'm not going to use the word ethics. I think based on the spirit of clashing, I would give it to Chronic Law. That's the thing. And my reason for saying it, relax guys, my reason for saying it is Chronic Law stuck to the art of street when dissing someone. It was Malie who actually started the name dropping and started the this and started the that. So a point was taken from Malie. You understand me? But otherwise, from that, great job, Malie. You're doing well. I like it. Keep punching. Yes, I suggest you keep punching. You're doing great. And the new Froggy, the cover art and all of that is really good. I'm just waiting to see what Chronic Law comes with. And, you know, I give it to both of them. Thank you, guys. You guys are doing very well. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.